Hello, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Witcher 3. Now, as you all know by now, or probably don't even know, Witcher 3 is quite an old game, but still, I got it recently, and I decided, hey, let me review this game. So, as you can tell, I'm reviewing this game. Now, warning, there will be spoilers, to the game if you've never even heard of it or played it. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this. Now, The Witcher 3 is actually quite a good game. Very good of a game, in fact. I'd say it's one of those games that is able to last the sands of time, pretty much. It can pretty much just last anything, okay? Now, if you didn't know, there are problems in it. Obviously, there are always problems in everything, but they're actually not that big. They're more centered around technical issues and stuff like that. But other than that, I can't really find a single flaw in this game. It's one of those games where it's near masterpiece level. It's super close to masterpiece level. If I were to probably put it on a scale, it would be hitting 100 almost, just 1 point off if I were to rate this game. Now, to be honest, I have not beaten this game, but so far I've actually been playing it, and I just have to say it's pretty good. Um, Now, if you want to hear about like the story, I'll go ahead and jump to that though. So, let's go jump into the story. Alright, so the story is based off of Polish mythology. Well, not just the story, but the entire game. Polish mythology is pretty underrated. Not a lot of people hear about it. It's one of those mythologies that just doesn't get heard about. But instead of making everything like that, they focus on their own story and base it off of that. Our characters are a huge cast of characters, and I'm not saying all their names. Um, but you do have the protagonist, who's Gerald. Gerald is on his way to find his wife. However, his wife goes vanishing. And let me insert a joke here. I assume who it is. Wife is up to something at least. Anyways, now you want me to continue with the plot. Okay. So, as we fight or go through the story, we just encounter quests, and then we eventually just find our wife, and then there's boss battles. I don't know how to order this properly because I haven't really done much research for it. Because yes, a lot of research, or a decent amount of research was spent. In fact, I only spent like about 30 minutes researching. So sorry if this comes into one video and it just doesn't really make any sense. I'm trying to make as most sense as possible with the time I have. But anyway, it's a pretty good story, I guess. I don't have much to say. Now let's get on to the gameplay. Gameplay is actually pretty good. I know you didn't actually expect anything else other than good, but yeah, it's actually pretty good gameplay. Sure, it's a little wonky, I guess, and that is one of its flaws. Witcher 3 just is very wonky as a game. It's not the most clean game ever. It doesn't really have as clean of gameplay as, let's say, what's a game with clean gameplay? Oh yeah, you already know, Skyrim. But anyway, since this game did come out a few years ago, it obviously might come across as outdated, but no, it actually dates pretty decently, with I guess some of its mechanics originating pretty much around like 7th gen, I guess you can say, but not really. I mean, they're still fun. It's a really fun game, and the gameplay, although a little messy, I do appreciate some things. For one, I do appreciate the amount they did with the gameplay. Instead of having one button do one thing, they had multiple buttons, and it's actually not that confusing to use. So I guess pretty decent, I guess. You also have powers, which pretty much start at the beginning of the game, and some of the mechanics, I guess, are pretty good. Anyways, with the overall gameplay, I'd probably say it's definitely I'd say it's definitely flawed, but it's still pretty good. Now, if there's any more to say, I guess I could say that it's got a decent cast of characters. Um, sure, that isn't saying much, but like, still, it's got good characters. I don't know much to say other than, well, the game is good. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, and goodbye, and peace.